Today is the 23rd day of March 2021. And for today, we want to join AYV the interview with Samuel Wise Bangura as we get opportunity for sit down with Francis Ben Kaifala, the Commissioner for the Anti-Corruption Commission. A lot of things is say in that interview day. A lot of things we want for ascertain like for say all the people them we know they see the good work with anti-corruption they do are due to politics. Now we know they see say anti-corruption they win so many awards, they get so many accolades. Now because politics don't blind we eye. We will come watch the interview, then we will get opportunity for make we talk. But before that, make we join NACOVAC, make we see waiting NACOVAC give for today. The test them where the labs then conduct now 357. Out of the 357 tests, now only one be turned out for be positive. And that one day then say now from inbound passengers. So because of the one positive test from inbound passengers, we don't get now a total cumulative confirmed positive cases. We don't reach 3,949. For the past 24 hours, we no lost nobody to COVID-19, so we still stand at 79. The one they mode in isolation, now 1,078. The one they mode recover from coronavirus within the past 24 hours, now 0. So we still stand at 2,792. The one them were in quarantine at 36. And the one them were on discharge from quarantine at 14,673. Make we check the Mano River Union countries. For today, as I tell we, Sierra Leone 1. Guinea, then look there on the low today, 68. Now come to Liberia. I could just initialize the person MB. He say in a Liberian, Sierra Leonean, he gets roots in both countries. And he can find offensive. He say maybe some other Liberians then can listen. Where the way they talk, like say they make fun of Liberia, then can listen, but they not then it not can go down well with them, but they not can agree for talk somehow. But in take him upon himself for say whenever I can reach to Liberia in this aspect, it's like I can try for throw shade at Liberia. Okay, MB. I don't know if you really know Usai me and Liberia and this 1 year meetup, but maybe you want to go way back where Liberia take for almost like a month or two, then not be the report, and there were positive cases by then not be the report. So that's the reason why you see why I can reach to Liberia, where Liberia still they get 0. When they not be the report, it was 0. The time where they were called out, and we self now I be able for contact people them journalists then at Liberia will be here for give me information, and I follow all the different public health emergency website then at Liberia. They were not updating anymore. So after they begin for updates, and then we take one day now we then get all the numbers them we then be giving 98. So with these days then we then they give 00. I don't know if the 0 now say they not send numbers to WHO or to the CDC Africa when I the update so, or they just want for day back like how they be there. So that's the reason. It's not that I'm throwing shade at Liberia, because I know say yes, indeed we get Liberian listeners then. So I'll be just one for clear that one day. But today again, Liberia not show face, that's 0. No, it's not a true shade, but they have 0. When Sierra Leone gets 0, Sierra Leone not show face, then get 0. So I just want to make we get an understanding. I know I make you feel bad. It's not like I'm throwing shade at Liberia, but it's just the way I will see them. All right. Thank you. Ivory Coast, then go forever be the papa in this region. So Ivory Coast then get 291. We get a total of 360 new cases in the Mano River Union countries. To the death, same like yesterday, Sierra Leone 79, Guinea 111, Liberia 85, and Ivory Coast 220. Don't forget to say, coronavirus still there. Take all the precautionary measures then, so that you will keep yourself safe. Now to a program proper. The interview, Samuel Wise Bangura, sit down with the ACC Commissioner Francis Ben Kaifala. The interview, as it start, Samuel Wise not even with them because when this second season starts, the ACC Commissioner was there. Now, I ain't forced the interview. But I think he interview him before all this thing they go waiting. So I think they just feel say, well, oh, pull out one day, but we need for calm. With all waiting the Africanist Press, they can't wait. With all waiting the surface right now with this parliament and all thing. I think say there should be a new one. We forget the recent conversation, the way they go on, make the ACC Commissioner please answer for we. But they read in the comment section, some people and feel say Samuel Wise not do a good job. Some people and feel say, oh, he do a good job. But make you listen. I think certain questions then they will be necessary for ask. And indeed, Samuel Wise ask the question them. And before I play the interview, then one them we can feel to say, waiting Chernobyl of the Africanist Press, they released a fake document. I've never seen anybody can talk saying a fake. So those documents that are being on social media, now authentic documents there. What to make I say so? Because even for the one way China they talk about of the Africanist Press, they talk about the fuel where the chief minister spent so much money for buy. The anti-corruption boss say if na corruption then they, if person buy fuel if na corruption, he said there is no corruption there. So now in that light now you can say like people want to give accolades to ACC na corruption na politics na make na politics. Master say Shameful for don't push harder on the questions then. Okay. You don't get opportunity for listening to the Commissioner Francis Ben Kaifala on the interview. A lot of things then touch. Some side and day way Samuel Wise, one for the gag and go inside. If any way for jump commodity, not forgetting a lawyer. So on the side and day you not get any way for do but for just work inside is small. But beaucoup in them, they will talk about. One thing where he say he no go agree, let anybody take from them. Now for say, the fight against corruption now, as compared to previous, any kind way you want look at right now, result day. As to the ACC will be don't get years past. It begin for make comparison. Say MCC, MCC's scorecard, they ask for data. We work in talk now say Sierra Leone no get data. All throughout the interview, you hear where the commissioner they tell you about data, science, and statistics. It refer to them over and over again. One side they will tell we say if it be to say the data, the statistics and the science wrong, go resign. He invites Samuel Wise Bangura say then get for go Napujen in the next 2 weeks. If Samuel Wise not get time, ACC, this guy go they talk. When I invites me, yeah? Now they put myself out there. When I invites me, now go see this thing where you say we need for C. Because I can sense there's a little bit of frustration, even though the ACC boss say no, in like the criticism and all those things. There are a little bit of, because it feels to say the kind accolades them when they get out of Sierra Leone. In Sierra Leone, they know they get her. With all, because he said a lot about the awards, the accolades, the American Embassy, Giddy's award, like everything towards the awards and all these things. So he keep coming to it back over and over and over. Like if I say, una way they talk say ACC no they do work, ACC no they do. It's like on another see what in other people here they see. Then other people here, then they see say ACC they do work inside Africa. We are ACC commissioner. Then get position back for inside the fight against corruption in Africa. So Sai come and say, okay, well, all this accolades they talk about, now because you they run at a small fish. Now the fish come inside you. So he begin for give different example them. Say EDSA, as we speak now. EDSA, the managing director and the deputy, and they're on suspension because ACC they investigate them. It talk about maritime. The previous person who been dead say don't pay 300 million to ACC. It talk about information. I think that was the day where I get opportunity for interview in Sierra Leone. That be the day where they indict them fellows. Then they under that COI money for go tell people they're waiting this and that. Man then go then squander the money. It talk about the scope at State House. Say if they want to then a small fish them. But one thing we talk about where he say it tell like for say people are not greasy because politics and don't blind their eye. It's a way you compare 2013, 2015, then if anti-corruption take money say, na almost na 65 million. 65 million na anti-corruption they collect. But as in speak, in don't collect up to 10 billion leons. 10 billion leons now don't collect. I see people in the comment section they ask, okay, so who side them put them money then they? What thing then they do? That money the president be don't tell we say na for waiting. Research Center Cancer. But the last day we go, it be say 23 billion. I don't know no more. Sometimes during the interview, it gets confused. Or maybe na the most recent one we add the na make it say 10 billion. But na 23 billion. Na anti-corruption tell we say they don't collect so they don't go hand over that check. Okay? So like I said, sometimes we just talk about this last one. He said the fight against corruption, then they do it fairly. We mean to say they're not go hold you if they're not supposed to hold you. But then they do it fiercely. He said before 70% corruption prevalence. We mean say corruption in any 100% thing we get for take place in Sierra Leone, 70% of that thing they corrupt practice they come inside. He said that be 2015. But now 2019, 40%. Now they don't rate them. He said, who that rate them? Yeah, Papa God. Afrobarometer. And when you're ready for talk about Afrobarometer, it's in one of the respectable institutions. Now, the same Afrobarometer where Parliament call for say, then get question over. When it's in your favor, you hail. When a question you begin for say, no, this one no look right too. Because now, the kind way Francis Ben Kaifala talk about the Afrobarometer, where he praised them, I wish na so Parliament forbidden do. He said people them, we know they see waiting in the talk about, he said they just make false claim. Now false claim then they make. He talk about say, then not just they go begin arrest and do this and do that. When it come to Parliament, he say if them be expect them for arrest all the parliamentarian them. If you ask me, yes sir, I expect that sir, as long as they are corrupt. Well, that one then if I don't give the name safe, and then if I don't put you now the head of anti-corruption at the whole world. Because if you listen that part the way he talk, he say if he expects them for arrest all the parliamentarian them, then shut down the government. If they are corrupt, yes, I expect them all for them under arrest as long as they are corrupt. So is it that now because of if they arrest them all, then go shut down the government? That was the reason where they just give them like the way they knock picking small and say, hey, not do them again. But in saying that, there is a revelation where the anti-corruption boss say. So Mango say, not a revelation because we know. He say, if not all, but most of the government appointments them, the people the way government they appoint, now people the way no get no experience whatsoever. It go to the extent in say, now people them at the even at their household, they're not able to run their household. Hey! You be hearing that day? What you say? The one them okay. It pleases the president. It pleases the president. It's said them people and the way can please the president for her. And those are the same people where they go parliament they pass. He say the people them they no get one experience in the place them where they hire them for go work. He said to the extent say even at their household, it's extent they not even run their household. If you want for looking back, is that true? Or if you want for looking back, are they acting like that so that they go able for thief? Because that's true. Either it is true, say, even then they act to the extent like say they're not the head of the household, or then they pretend for make big fool so that they go able to now make you get one part where say ignorant of the law is no excuse. But I think say ignorant of the law is no excuse. You know mix pan waiting ACC they do. Because in this parliamentation, he say if they give you say for go make ladi done at your constituents, where you go, then say party you party. If they not tell you for come back, so you know for come back. But we don't hear so many times so that they say ignorant of the law is no excuse. If the law says somebody for come back, I like they not tell you. As long as you not come back for can report, how you don't pass with the money, my dear, you're found guilty. You're found guilty. So then one day, I look and small, say if they can't run their household and they behave like a for say, then how then they go answer yes to parliament? How they please the president forgive them? Not to me say. Now him say, I hope you be a reader side. It talk about how anti-corruption they work professionally, fairly, and balanced. When it comes to balance, now the big fish can inside back. Because he say everyone get in own fish where you want to make anti-corruption fry. I want to ask you now, do ya? Whose fish will you get where you want to make anti-corruption fry? Whose fish you get? Where they not fry it, where make you still all them against and say, they're not working because you get your own particular fish, because that's what he's saying. He said we all get with particular fish, then we want for make them fry, and then they go by we menu, not to we send them go market. Because he said then they work evidence-based institution. The ACC na evidence-based institution, so you cannot just pick your fish and ask them for fry your fish. If you they pick that fish there, you get for give reason why. You get for give reason why. You get for count the evidence where for show say them for pull that fish there inside the water and put on a different pan for you. But when he was doing that analogy, there is something where he look like for say one kind way, because he said some people and where they don't see somebody don't be Leos, if they drive fine car, if they wear suits, then they begin pick on the person. Is that so? Is that so? Or okay, you go say it's an analogy, so not to say a mean and say where somebody they drive fine car, where somebody they wear suits, then they begin point on them. But it say everybody where they pick on ACC right now, they get an interest. It go to the extent he say Honorable Tawa, yes, Honorable Tawa na fine man, na a friend and all those things, but Honorable Tawa says get an interest. Honorable Tawa get in your fish where you want make ACC fry for her. But because ACC not fry him, so Honorable Tawa no gladdy. Now that one come inside now about whistleblower, no whistleblower. So into that now, Igiwi, like Julian Assange and all these other people in the Panama paper, the example. So when he be the given one day, I was thinking back, okay. So, but when it became to the Africanist Press, he used the chief minister as an example. Now he used the chief ministers for say, well, yes, the chief minister, the fuel way the Africanist Press pool, is it corruption to buy fuel? Waiting the procurement way and then do, yes, then go through the procurement process, and the one that they don't come out say there is no flaws there and all these things. So there are certain things then the way the Africanist Press be pulled when I warrant the ACC for say they want to look into waiting the current First Lady office and the previous First Lady office. So then they know to whistleblowing. Oh, we know they count the Africanist Press. Because they don't tell you now say the one in a parliament isn't na accusation and counter accusation. He said that they know to whistleblowing no. The one in a parliament. He said they raise alarm. Na alarm na in they raise. Because waiting do the clerk of parliament tell Honorable Tawa say no make a talk. We two play and I had the last time. Last Tuesday by now. And that will be the discuss. No make a talk. If I talk now, you waiting, your constituents then go run after you. So he said that and then alarm they raise and then call and they call Honorable Geva, say come now you go talk here. You say corruption in a parliament can't show we. And say Honorable Geva will not able show, he not able talk. So as far as then concerned, Honorable Geva, you not talk no more, you just talk. Because when you talk, you need for come with evidence. Now they don't tell we say ACC na evidence-based institution. ACC not the witch hunt. Now so the commissioner say. They're not the witch hunt at all. He say because the kind way in the work, he don't get 10 years experience as a lawyer, and not a lawyer no more. He be in a management role. So he know exactly what thing he dey do. Eh? So make you not see that way ou they try for see am. Okay? Then ask am answer way because you don't begin go these provinces. At the end. Some always ask and say there, what you dey try for go do? Na campaign strategy. Because they say some people they don't jiggy right now say this guy with all the accolades the way he don't they win. And now he don't left tongue. He say na the provinces in the go for go take the threats of corruption to the people. They can't go to the people now, not to the people no more where they say not to free tongue no more as alone. But they can't go now to the people within the provinces, so they themselves go know. Say the fight against corruption is ongoing. And waiting it take for fight against corruption. I go all on the first. Make a come to Usmantoli, make we hear you. Waiting in get for it today. Yes, Usmantoli, you get the platform, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Triple A, for putting the information together and for breaking down the interview between the Commissioner Ben Kaifala and that of Samuel Wise Bangura of AYV. And also, I will thank the Commissioner Francis Bay Kaifala for that interview there. There is a lot to talk about. There's a lot of information there. So we're not going to cover all today, but I will choose some important parts then and try for break them down and see what thing I will come up with. But before I come to the main point, I just want to make a short intro where I want to let everybody pay attention to. Corruption now a major problem now in country. Corruption now the cancer to Sierra Leone. Corruption now bring about the weaknesses of institutions in our country. When we talk about economic stagnation, how the country don't they outside they so today, where they talk about schools, we begin another get better education of the country, where they talk about so many other things. And corruption ain't caused that. There is something called causation and there is something called effect. Most of what we go today so not because of corruption. You see everybody they try for go into politics because they don't see say politics now attractive career for them because now the easy way that they make wealth. So they are way we they talk about corruption and law left for the politicizer. I make we country they be so today make out with issue. So law left for the politicize the situation. Law we try for speak to the issues them with all honesty. And that's the only way forward where we will bring development in our country day. Okay. Going now to the topic proper. We all are listening to the commissioner. I get a number of concerns. And also, I get area where I will say kudos. But from what me observe and listen to, I think the commissioner, they talk a lot about data. He's more interested in statistics. Speaks, I think statistics speak volume. And I paraphrase what he say. He said, we are at a point in our lives where anti-corruption and the people of Sierra Leone are taking the fight against corruption to the highest level, from public education to prevention, investigation, prosecution, and conviction. I just try for paraphrase what you talk, especially for the one that will not be able to listen to the first part of the interview. And as I said, it's driven by data, more on data, to the extent that he believes, say, if data they lie, he will resign. It talked extensively on some of the data where it proved them right. And I will quote him back, paraphrase. He say, if science, fact, and data is against us, I will resign. Very critical. In other words, in belief, say, with all the public criticisms, with all what people let me say, with all the pressure groups, with all the interest groups, them, all what in they talk, in belief, say, as long as in statistics speaks volume, in belief, say, they do the right job. That's my own perception. It gives you a lot of statistics. He say it take 42 cases in a court. Out of them 42 cases, then they don't win 40. So that means say they do a good job. They talk about the scorecard in terms of Transparency International. We talk about the MCC scorecard. We talk about the awards them both internationally and nationally. The awards them we don't get. It talk a whole length about himself, about the achievements them. I think say then they get joy. Now they make him feel say you don't achieve what he is supposed to achieve. And he talk about in 2015, the Afrobarometer, for example, make a report from a survey from the public, we should say, then corruption in the country, 70%, the prevalence. That is, at that particular point in time, the kind of corruption in our country is about 70%. Because they ask them a question where they ask them, say, the corruption still very persistent in the country, especially in the one that certain people at the expense of other people. So when they try to compare data in terms of what may happen then, we're not so in your days then, not so that time, not so in your government being a power then, as compared to what may happen now. So you compare the data. But we may get a number of concerns. And I will start with some of the concerns them will make people and begin lose confidence in a fight against corruption. We'll go back. Because a good number of the public believe say we want really fight corruption. It's about making sure that nobody is an exception here. Nobody should be an exception. But it takes a number of decisions them where make people feel, say, the fight against corruption now a witch hunt, sacred cow. So let me give you an example of some of the areas them where raise suspicion. Where I feel say this interview no good aside. I wish some wise for bringing some instances for show how people get suspicious of in fight against corruption. Lord take the Honorable Alpha Timbo over the 49,000 bags of rice, for example. When the ACC started that investigation, we all know the story. In Toxie, he said get dozens of evidence. And he started the case. Collect in evidence, investigate the case, collect the evidence. He take the case to court. But according to him, in Toxie, he asked the AG, a Minister of Justice, for let be a jury trial. Let not be a jury trial, now a judge trial only. In other words, now the judge now for decide the case. Let jury not kind say. What's in the implication? That in belief say the public don't know much about corruption cases. That there are judges then who specialize in trying corruption cases. The AG thought it fit then. Then the AG thought it fit. Say a judge without a judgment without a jury can be problematic. So it declined. So as a result, then we draw the case based on the fact that they want to try another strategy for submit that case to. Well, this is why people in the act, from when we draw that case to AAA, you and I know, they will resubmit this case for trial. I think this was a clear miss of opportunity because Alpha Timbo, one of the high fish that will be looked for let them fry. And one of the big fish them, according to him, will be looked forward for let them fry. That will have been a clear opportunity for showcase, say the ACC no they discriminate anybody in the fight against corruption. But from where they withdraw that case, the case was withdrawn based on lack of evidence. And in the same ACC commissioner, Binon talk say, we get dozens of evidence. And go withdraw that case and say because of lack of evidence. And don't forget, Alpha Timbo was then the former Minister of Education, now one of the top men in that administration. So a good number of the public then believe say that man, then for them, irrespective of whether the jury, whether it was a jury trial or a judge trial, it don't matter. If the evidence is clear, the case is there. If one just continue for pursue that case, let the judge decide, say, this case no hold water. But to withdraw that case, and as it stands, as we speak now, nothing has been done. So again, that's very suspicion, eyebrows. That was a clear opportunity where the ACC missed. Another cause for concern with this same commissioner when we talk about AAA. We all know the issue over the teachers them, where them in disgrace that they cut in trade. Well, we feel say this is discriminatory to some extent. It's very discriminatory in the sense that, it treats some people with importance at the expense of other people. We all know, say, the ACC take the law in their own hands then. To the extent that we therefore get the president for come publicly for apologize. He not do the apology. The intent and the president, His Excellency, Julius Maada Bio na income, knowing very well that what the commissioner do was wrong. So in that respect, we don't discriminate in terms of the actions we take against the teachers. You go imagine again in that particular instance, if not in the high-profile man, or whose high-profile man where he don't catch, or politician where he don't catch, and corruption where he don't do that to them. Those things, then small tier, they raise public suspicion. Say the fight against corruption, now which hunt? And if you listen carefully, it make another interesting statement. Yeah? In talk say, he say the fight He said the first sign to recognize a cynical human being is to reject science and data. I agree with him. But again, AAA, he mentioned the fact of the Afrobarometer. Today, as you mentioned, AAA, this man praised the importance of data, the role of Afrobarometer. This shall be drawn attention, not specifically to him. How many times parliamentarians, how many times even the chief minister himself rejected Afrobarometer, the data produced by Afrobarometer. I remember, here is a man today, he will come publicly to praise Afrobarometer as one of the most respectable, one of the most respectable organizations, the way they produce data. But what you find for them today, you go, we'll find for somebody next time. So Lord, take note. Take note where somebody say the first sign to recognize a cynical human being, selfish human being, somebody who is self-interested, is to reject science and data. So Lord, refer back to we parliamentarians then, where they don't become, reject Afrobarometer, we Toxi or Carl, the Center for Accountability and Rule of Law, where Toxi, Parliament, one of the most corrupt institutions in the world. Today we get a high-profile person in Toxi. The first sign to recognize a cynical human being is to reject science and data. What do you make this? Because all the data, all these facts, all the science, the point say they do a good job. And they do a fantastic job. As we don't mention earlier on, talk about the MCC scorecard, talk about the differences in terms of prevalence of corruption way back in 2015 to present, compare those data. And I think that's in the use as a justification. And again, another interesting point, AAA, which I think you also take note of, is the issue of the Africanist Press. I wish Samuel Wise for he talked about that. I think Samuel Wise mentioned that briefly, but for don't push further on that. Although, arguably, you will say, I get the point. But what is more interesting now in terms of the Africanist Press Day, we all know to a very large extent that the anti-corruption done in, I think, a press release where Toxi then go investigate the office of the First Lady, going back 14 years, I think. So meaning that particular investigation, it carry weight in the sense that the public will know on the issues where Africanist Press and other interests, they get over the claim where they make against the First Lady. That's my cause for concern. I think Samuel Wise for don't push a little bit further. Say, although you talk, say, the claim where people and they make, especially in terms of whistleblowing, a very good number of the public believe, say, Chairman Bar of the Africanist Press, a whistleblower, in the sense where the ACC commissioner described am, say, for be a whistleblower, you therefore bring them to the attention of not only him, but also the public, and that you get forget data, you get forget evidence. It has to be evidence-based. And by the words of the commissioner himself, he talks, the ACC is an evidence-based international institution, evidence-based institution. It's not about what you know, but it's about what you can prove. Are you saying, the question we will ask is, with all the invoices, the bank statement produced by the Africanist Press, are you saying that then evidence then bank statement then invoices are they not sufficient enough for evidence-based investigation? Are they not enough? So these are some of the questions that we need to have for us. And I think it will have been in the interest of the ACC. It will have been in the interest of the ACC to take some of these things into account and try to see how far it will carry on some of these investigations. How far, especially because the thing is, Acheno Basse didn't get the evidence, which he don't publish publicly. Most people don't see the statement, the invoices them we publish. We're in toxic evidence. So for letting come out, for talk say, that not to evidence, because that in the trial for claim that not to evidence. Or perhaps what in the talk maybe not that really, maybe in things because he mentioned the case of Usai, the chief minister, they use the money way they give for buy fuel, in talk say, then they not to corruption. And that on the issues of procurement, the procurement authority, the authority in charge of procurement, don't come publicly and declare, say, all those procurement, the APA know about those procurement and then they approve them. That's it could be an own argument. But AAA, to conclude, we know it's got the point. I think the statistics, and the gear and the motivation, which is true. I mean, comparatively, we look at the statistics, current statistics in terms of corruption, against the fight against corruption. I think the statistics look good. It looks good, statistics, as compared to then. But however, it missed some opportunities. And them opportunities, and they will miss, they raise public eyebrows, they raise suspicion. With a good number of the public, don't forget, a good number of the public, when this fight against corruption starts, a good number of the public believes he was doing a fantastic job. I remember one time he was rated 80%. 80% he was rated. But as time goes on, we will see that number don't go on drastically because of a number of missed opportunities. As I tell you, AAA, that rice saga was one of them. That was a clear opportunity for demonstrate to the public. Say we not only fight corruption based on political opponents them, but we also fight corruption on me own big fish and water. Because Timbo, as Minister of Education, by then was a Minister of Senior Secondary Education, and a big fish. A big fish. That was a clear opportunity. Yeah? again, when they fight corruption, they use different levels depending on how powerful the person is. As I don't give an example of the teachers, them that again raise suspicion. Doesn't mean because we're not powerful. Yeah, because we're not powerful. So now make they deal with this way. That was the question where most people asked in terms of the teachers then. A good number of the public, they lost confidence on the Anti-Corruption Commissioner. Overall, AAA, one big thing we are just one laying at this table today is this. The fight against corruption is in the hands of two important institutions. One is the Anti-Corruption Commission. Secondly, Parliament, and it's also very important. But Parliament, the problem with Parliament is that as we don't listen, then they condone corruption to the extent that, they're not able to mitigate that. Because most of this is not for ACC no more the fight the corruption. The corruption for also start with Parliament. Because now they make the laws, they are the most powerful constitutionally. Most of them here for being able to mitigate. If they're not to condone corruption, then they hate and abate corruption in the words of KKY. Overall, although the ACC, comparatively, relatively speaking, they make progress, but it miss a number of opportunities, concerns. And now these concerns now make people lose confidence on the walkway Anti-Corruption Commission they do. Thank you very much, AAA. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Usman Toli.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's go to Doctor. Make we waiting he get for it today. Yes, Dr. Isatuka Kejalo, you get the platform.
Yes, hi. Good evening, everyone, and I hope everybody do well. And good morning to many others. Thanks to you, thanks to Usman Toli, Samuel Wise, Bangura, and the commissioner for taking the time for sit down and talk about some of the things really concern the general public in Sierra Leone. First, I want to start by saying that we happy that he don't achieve so many awards them, or he don't receive so many awards them. But for me, that should not be the only thing we possibly look at. For say, because they don't get so many awards them, that means say, I did do well. That's not the only thing that signifies that you are doing well. Waiting at the people then thoughts, waiting at the people then perception, or how the people then they fear, waiting at them well-being, like we can to corruption, waiting corruption don't do to them. Right. So I think for me, it felt like the interview was all about talking about what thing they don't accomplish, based on the awards them. Yes, he refers so many times to data, which, that's now waiting person for say, yes, I did refer to data. Beyond or beside the MCC score where he mentioned the different figures them or percentages them, what he mentioned where he talk about the Afro barometer, where we've been reviewed our data day, we've been see the different side them where we not do well as a country or as a nation. So if they try for refer to the data, I think it will be nice. Let you reference them. Let you try for say in this sector for the MCC score or the Afrobarometer, it shows say Salon they are this percentage, and in this year time frame now so and so we've been there. So as we always see we put in the comparison, then the give waiting been done happen within are the percentage beside the MCC score where it be talk about. But if we been be nice again, for us see that comparison day based on other data or based on other national data for sure say yes, corruption it go down. Yes, it is true. We want to agree, say the way Sierra Leoneans them don't ready for fed corruption now. It wasn't like that in few years back. And we want to say that's good. And when it come as a commissioner, I'm sure many of us, including myself, I feel say it been so passionate about fighting corruption for Sierra Leone. And it's just that some things happen, like, where Usman Toli even referred to multiple times for say, you withdraw from something where you accuse or where you feel say you get enough evidence for fit that particular case day. But in the end, that person there was, vindicated or even reinstated and given a different position. Why make that kind of thing for even happen? Why did they raise alarm when say the evidence where you get, if you take an a court, then go throw them out based on sufficient enough. Yes, you make a ridicule of you ministry or you department, where them people then everybody for try for trust you as a commissioner. With that alone, I'm sure then they bring down the ACC, the credibility of the ACC down greatly. Believe this or not, that was a big problem, right? And then you talk about again, we see the parliamentarians them. Yes, we don't get some Sierra Leoneans then we don't raise concern if you don't find them as a whistleblower, because in the fact that maybe why you feel say they're not a whistleblower anymore, because the claim that was made then self the part of Dandy, because now they consider them as a suspect because you want for now investigate all parliamentarians them. But then you say you do that in 14 months, as we don't talk about now. So you findings where all we can do in this sense, we will not shut down parliament, because if we do that, we will shut down the country. No, I think if we don't do that, because I don't remember why they talk now, say we need a brand new set of people in that parliament for that salon go be waiting in it for being. And that now one thing FBK they fail for realize say you cannot be sympathetic towards people them just with the thought say if I take this out right now, it's like I don't take everything out. Okay, then do a proper screening. Maybe there are people within that parliament that don't need to be out of it. They need to stay within that parliament. But the one that we really do wrong, you for charge them and let them refund the country money. Because now then they make laws then with the laws and they favor them. The laws and they favor the ordinary Sierra Leoneans them. So for say, the what people then they think because the fish where they want la fry, now no fry. For me, some part of those statements, to me, he shouldn't be saying those things. He should not be saying these type of things as a commissioner. But today, all I hear, as because now a lawyer, all I hear from him was more of a defense, trying to put up a face as if, no, I therefore come, I defend me department, say we really to do well based on data. Okay, we want to give you some credit here because, but it's not anymore for me. From the moment you do something, that particular incident they happened, and then somebody was under investigation, and then all of a sudden that investigation they become like, what? It wasn't worth it. So then what do? You make now people then go begin to question everything what you do. Because you initial attempt for fed corruption at the country, you attack people them where really, even though they're involved in corruption, but their corruption is not the one that is only destroying our nation. The one that way they destroy the nation, you left them. You say let them go free. For saying, what I go do, I don't commit all them thing there. So I feel say the best option now for tell them say, when I not do it again, no. If you do it again, now this, now this, now this. We they say we do prevention, and then you talk about liability. But like I be don't say the last time, Triple A, the problem is there. It's already been diagnosed. So let's treat it. Lord, treat and so let that problem they not become a metastatic form, meaning the entire body become cancer. So as it is right now, it don't eat certain part of the body. So Lord treat that and the Lord see if we go put her in remission. But that's not what FBK they do. It they feel say people don't go down, eat them cake, and still want for make sure say the cake still sit there and wait for them. I think he's lost in translation here. I really think so. He's not thinking in there, talking about, so if you don't say, okay, you want to do prevention, now my question is, because it's not a question, I hope you get to answer it at some other press, a meeting. Are you going to go after them after you institute the prevention? Will you now come back and say, okay, we don't initiate this prevention? Una will be involved in it, we all are accountable. Una go for payback the country money. I don't know if you go for able for answer for that. Because it is right now, it already let them go. He's saying that there was no criteria for them to follow. We come to how them for spend the money as long as they do them. That's it. Right? So it continued for talk about evidence based. Which other evidence are you looking at? Which other evidence? If you na an expert, you na a lawyer, yes, you don't get all them awards. Now you do lead West Africa or even Africa, we counter corruption. That's good. Kudos. We're really happy for see a Sierra Leonean doing that. But as you do them, we want to see how really it could benefit we nation first. Right? Say you want for try for look good in the eyes of the people that you serving when are you country. Normally the people then outside look at you and say, you know what, you did do well. But what about the people then within you home? Just take it as like, you're not a family person. Out there you want to make the world know that you're a good person. But inside your home, you are really wicked or you are really mean to your family. That's how I see the whole thing. He thinks he's doing well. Well, with the hope, say, this 2021, all the data them what they talk about, where it don't highlight because it really not dive into them. We go see those data. And they talk about recovery. Recovery, yes, you don't recover the money. So waiting to go on with the money right now. Waiting we don't see really happen for the people then as alone for saying, what, this not the money then way people then be don't do corruption, they don't return the money through ACC. Now the government or the president don't really put that into work because it's been almost 3 years and we haven't seen anything. So it could be nice for Lord really see that happen for we country. And Samuel Wise, he did well. But just like Usman Toli emphasized, I felt the same way. There are things, if we don't push further, especially when it comes to the Africanist Press, when it comes to the chief minister, push a little bit further and see what thing else you go try for get out of FBK. Because FBK, we all don't listen to him. Now, posting it stay on one end. I think it's really tough to get him out of there. It go just one for continue for get himself from answering the question, But I guess with time, we journalism go know how best for interview him, for know how best for really get the facts from him. Because what in the talk today, we were just listening to somebody who's looking forward to continue to do like saying a reappointment in the look for this mean na my resume. You not see how many awards that I don't get. You not see and waiting. Yeah, that's good. Can you back that with really what's happening in Sierra Leone? It would have been really helpful, but we don't see that happen. But we really hope it salon for better. Because as it is right now, all we hear today, it was so many things that you don't even know which one he's really trying to say. Well, the journalists, them, whether at the country or abroad, please, not one person I feel say invite. I think he invite everybody. So Triple A, if you begin to pack your bag.
No, and Samuel invite, you invite
It,
me.
it, it tells Samuel because I know say maybe it go bully Samuel we camp and talk. So maybe law get Sarah network, the law see what thing will happen. Now that's all we get for tonight. I really do hope for the better for Sierra Leone, and we still stand strong with all patriotic Sierra Leoneans. So nobody should feel discouraged. They should continue to speak out. Even if this was not a whistleblowing, but it was something that raised concern. It was something that raised a suspicion or a need for an investigation. So we want to tell, the Honorable, Ibrahim Tawa for what he do. And for any other one we raise concern, we make them try for investigate people them where they do wrong to the nation, where they make Salon they go beyond. So we really want for La Salon go forward. So 2021, definitely Sierra Leoneans, let's keep it up. Let's continue to raise concerns. Let's continue to advocate, because things like this, if you listen to them, it will make you feel like say, oh, there's no need. I think everything is going on well. But no, if you really know exactly what people they go through in Sierra Leone, then you go feel the need for talk more. Every day you go continue for speak, you go continue for voice out. And that's what advocacy is all about. And I believe that that's what they do at this platform. We know say what we will change with we words them, and that's what they constantly continue for say to the people of Sierra Leone and those that are ready to help our nation develop. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah. Now come out, us friend. Larry, what's in get for we? Yes, us friend, you get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Triple A, for giving me the platform, and thanks to Doctor for your eloquent contribution, and to Mr. Usman Toli, and thanks again for your patience for stream all this online and then bring the information to it. And so the only thing we want to look at the interview of itself, and not even the question about this journalism, even when Dr. they summarize how they will approach. I believe say it look like the aim of Samuel Wise, waiting the aim for actually get out of the man. Now an interview for let you go know the style we use or the approach we use or where they apply, where they do this in work, while things then they go around, when audits, so on and so forth, accusation in parliament, we resign and ask this person for go behind whistleblowers. So in other words, now he approach where they use towards where they do this particular thing. So you will ask if Samuel Wise, maybe if he change the other program, would then get something like hot seats. Maybe in a day you will say it is hot, and then the questions are gonna be hot. But maybe here interview, maybe always you try for see within the man don't say. Maybe from onlooker on the other side, you might say I don't know him, because you know go to all waiting people and say they expect say, I go ask so, I go ask so. So that's how we come to that approach today. So, but when you look at in your approach now, where they apply to himself from what we learn, they try to look at this transparency in a different way, and this corruption, yeah, where they occur because of transparency. They see behind the lines. So, because they see behind the lines, how they were able to remove this lining where they try to prevent people and foresee. And then waiting people and they say they behind how he was able to bring them to the eyes of people and able to deal with them according to waiting the law say. So he gets a question to say now. We usually, in fact, in any area of country where they talk about corruption, the only way where some of them they detect them in a normal way, and there are a variety of ways. Okay, well, they see a variety of method them. Most of them common in terms of they can get audits, we can be internal and external, and they can always get like reports them when they try for learn some side there, the citizens, and then they bring out information for help corruption. Sometimes the journalists then they help, like this last subject we have been discussed about. And then we talk about the whistleblowers, their role again. And then they talk about self-reporting, because some people they go report themselves again. See, indirectly, where you go look, say, like the whistleblower was also self-reporting himself, because Tawa and the other Tawa was the one more that I was when I report myself, because when I report myself, I know say me are immune, because I do all waiting I get for do. Like I take the precautions, I wear me protective. The right one where I for daily, I do what I for do. Look the receipts them, let's show you them. So now for that something they can get some people who are self-reporting, then they can be whistleblowers, and that one they in there for do. But waiting at the fault, what we see why no one for go too much, man. The fault of where they talk about the institutions, then 1 point say the institutions them I saw last time with the interview and before this where he talk about the word where he put in quotes when a neologism he make is called born-againism. He said born-againism that he attribute to the judiciary. He said now one of the areas they will not reform when they only accept bribery. But the only side where he builds the guy for toxic and deficient now for accept a proposal then like where he talk about the area where he want trial without jurors, where the decision will come only based on the evidence within the game instead of them pass on to the jurors and for decide. Because when jurors then they talk a case individual. But that na other area back where he will try for bring that about. But with the question how independent and how effective some of the information what they bring to. But it bring we down to the point of waiting then he recommend say now most of the thing where they for try let them go try implement. And when they implement most of the thing there, they for try begin to bring down modern technology. All right, they are having it now from what they learn. And when they bring this modern technology, now it include blockchain. All right, the blockchain is actually there now. What we'll explain later. So that blockchain technology, then they introduce smartphone application, then they get open data, website and platform where people then get information for pass around that the people then now they do like in others areas of public and private sector organizations then we put the input of kind of procurement, transactions and everything on a daily basis, whatever you do, and then they put on this portfolio, one of these blocks of chains, one of this network where they will feed them up. But I learned say the auditor general, whoever, we don't try to introduce this system where they expect say then we put in place. But the question is there, that information they encrypt them or they don't encrypt them. But now when they last say back, then they try to bring this cyber law business. So they train people how to do that one. So on the hope say, only thing, if they introduce this blockchain system where people then will put them the information, let the information be encrypted. In other words, you will able to put an input of what they do, but you know able for tamper them. Once you don't input them, you can't tamper them. Like most of the information, like when they put information for certain area, you can't tamper it out again because you already did it. So these are the kind of things I expect say when I get this blockchain here, so it will help quite a lot because it's very important when they don't introduce them, you don't see say most of the things that then go come out from internal audit and then go take some few forensics. Because now the forensics way not they go for say that this is a point out rightly. Because one, if they look at the whistleblower, they will bring up this last thing we actually bring them in kind inside there. When you look at waiting the so-called Transparency International Global Coalition for Corruption, then they try to talk with the African leaders. And there is a recent one where they released in 4th of February. Then they talk about, say, they don't actually get this African Union Convention on Preventing and Combating Corruption, when a AUCPCC. But then they look, say, among the countries that we're about 55, now 44 don't implement them things there. But then further go back, say, and talk, say, most of the problem that they come because of money laundering. All right. If you hear when they talk about the example of for say, if they point at something like you for say, okay, look what's the number below now Chelsea, now Bamosi, now something if they try for refer. The other ones when are far fetched, we talk about other countries and different. But the particular one where he called about Bamosi, about Chelsea, he try to talk about money laundering and people who have been buying properties where they try for pursue about. You might say maybe not that. But the point why the drive was say, let the African Union and let this Transparency Union try see, because the law behind that immunity for diplomats, and they try for bring about the diplomats, then they get immunity when they travel. So most of the time they find out at the time is when money laundering and money they move out in forms because of the immunity. So you find out say all the areas of development, African Development Bank, then they look at the problem this. But inside them go able for look the law now, then go able for change. How they say you when they travel, then therefore check you back, and therefore check this, and therefore know if you get this or this. And then the limitation of currency, the way you for move with. So these are the areas about where they therefore try to look into. Then the very ACC. I only hope say these are things that we bring forward because they can attend a meeting there so that this will come to an end. Because if you take money, you aim for pulling out. So if they stop you for pulling out, this problem na salon will stop. So that time you advise so that people a mixed reaction and leadership go do. It just to summarize it all, because when you take money as society defense for Kerango, you put some of it there. But when they stop this chain work, they put a law wherein immunity go day. But because of international law, they can abide. But let African Union and leaders and transparency this, all those things, try bring these things on board. ECOWAS, then dinner salon, they are bringing up these things. Look into these things so that you will help the future of Africa, so that we will blow up a whistle of progress. Thank you very much for giving me the platform. But me, I want to drive for let me see what I'm going. Thank you very much. Let God continue for help we and let get social equilibrium. And then life go there for let people and go able for live a life wherein they go not say will not come for love, we will just do egoism for ourselves. We they try for build a foundation where we don't promise the people and say yes, it be not well, but we try for bring them up so that we no go able for them no more pan side where we will get resentment, and then the resentment then go replicate to something else where we will go back to waiting then just celebrate yesterday when at 23rd. Thank you very much for the platform. Let God help we and let them take it. God bless you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, friend.
You're most welcome. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Let's come with Tony. Make we waiting and get for we. Yes, Tony, you get the platform, sir.
Yeah, fumble them on Kushe and Kabo. One for congratulate Ben Kaifala for his drive saying actually them way you don't win and plus the way or gains and way you don't make. But let's look at the bigger picture here. The bigger picture here we need for asking self is corruption under control na salon. Waiting at the leakage system. Waiting, the country they lose. Because even the blackouts who they get soon after it all those things need to be investigated. These are all corruptions. Waiting our health system, the leakages who they see, you understand, The health system, all this kind of poor service system where the hospital and the rent and salon, these are all corruptions. These are all corrupt practices. It's not because the government get appointment and they empower, and if it's time for take up those cases, means they are fighting themselves. You understand? You look at all these things. But make I come to one area where I feel say the need for really strengthening. For me, we have a lab system there. They want to we do auditing or we do accounting, then get what we call materiality concepts. You understand? Where you're able to assess the risk and see if this whatever you understand we issue with the or money we misstated or whatever, how material able to assess the risk of them particular things. Then I'm not saying they're not fighting corruption, but when you look at the materiality, allow we able to assess the risk of some of them corrupt cases here. So some cases then the way they defect, when you assess the risk of them cases, then they are minimal. Some big cases then the way they say, where they expect and say, I didn't for win, I didn't forget plus, make the people they actually say yes, they're fighting. Those are the cases then where they lost. And not only they lose those cases, but they not they come out for make you see say yes, they've sent a signal because they do investigation on a particular case just for investigate sake. You they try for set a precedent with somebody else now other ministry or other department or agency see say yes, waiting Ben Kaifala or waiting anti-corruption they do, you understand? Probably they will kind of win ministry next. But if they lose some of the high profile cases, then we all know the rest case. You understand? I mean, one part is test case standing. I mean, a big when it comes to assess the risk. That mean a major risk factor than they were in if they may actually come out well. Because even right now we're all in a limbo. We don't know waiting. I mean, waiting. What are you for able to assess them? Either if you give them 50%, or either if you give them 25%, or either if you even give them less than that. When I'm in a high case. You understand? I feel say the need for recruits people who are qualified forensic auditors. Qualified forensic auditors, they have their investigators. Don't get me wrong. They have policemen, they have lawyers, and this and that. When they say these are the profession for interrogate people and this and that. When it comes to audit practice, when you want for deep down in fighting corruption, they have people with are forensic auditors. These are not just people with experience. I'm a policeman, I'm a this, I'm a lawyer. No. These are experts in their field. They handle data. They handle large data mining. You understand? They deep down and gets them the facts and gets the information. So once you see those people come to your ministry, then begin audit your system because forensic auditors not even only come at your ministry. They give them access. Then they able then anti-corruption office, they log on to yourself. They have rights because by default, these are auditors we get right for going to your system, especially when a government institution and whatever, then go then at the office, then go into your system and see and test how they prepare on a financial statement, present how they handle different things than where they happen inside. This now then you feel the one and the office say the need for just go further and get them not to follow you see somebody because there is a possibility of you getting investigators coming to the department or the permanent secretary and say they can investigate this case where in probably go give you envelope or where go compromise the investigation where you can do. But when you have qualified people where say they need to spend now that they say lack what we lack, get those people where go able for day wherever and go and see a system. I mean, at interval or whatever, see certain transactions. You understand? This is not the problem where we say they get because cases then they will see. This is not perception. You understand? This is not perception. This is reality. What is happening on the ground? If we see rampant blackout so right down a feature, this is our corrupt practice. How that man they thief oil, how that man and then they thief diesel, how that man and then they thief things that way for able go day. Even at the what's they call them. Then another problem when we want to point out the Africanist Press or how you call full guy where they do the investigation. I don't feel say any for the frown some of them case then even Tower Honorable Tower in case. Those are the cases that you for welcome situation because Tower in case you they kill other people them spirits where them go come for can report other cases them you take them as the suspects. You understand? When you want for fight corruption, like Ghana gets this guy where they call Anas Arimea, and anybody they listen or able to go on YouTube, you go see Anas has been doing the same job where Africanist Press they do. They've been doing this for years. Even Obama at 1 year mentioned that particular guy in his speech. That guy they got accolades them even more than we anti-corruption. Guy will get so na Ben Kaifala. Anybody can go YouTube let you see Anas. You understand? Anas now a guy will start up just like how Africanist Press start. It honored a lot of things from football, from different ministries, areas the way corruption dey, to private sectors, to this and that. It gets under I call them people then they when they investigate case them. You go just see them publish things the way they happen in ministry. You go surprised how them things then they come with fact based. You understand? These are things then where I feel say the anti-corruption therefore once you get clue into some of them practices, then we all want for fight corruption. We all want for see say we corruption minimize. We know they say we go eradicate corruption totally in a salon. It's not possible. But we want to see that kind of corruption where the Apple will say yes, this in terms of materiality, it risk not too high. You understand? But the ones that we are seeing happening in Sierra Leone, the risks are very high. Because money meant for certain development, certain areas, the way you don't say yes, money the way they can salon too plenty. The money where government they generate will make them increase taxes too plenty. And we are seeing insignificant growth in with GDP. We see insignificant growth on development the way they happen. We still get hospitals the way not equipped. We still get hospitals the way not get water. We still get government made states as the way if you say forget all the things them. Where present, where they say yes, this now the modern time, the 21st century, these things are lacking. Why you feel say they lack? Because even the ones fighting corruptions, they are not effective. They're not effective. So they cannot be even efficient in delivering the service because they don't even have the tools. The method of fighting corruption as alone, it look archaic. For me, too archaic. Because you cannot fight corruption where you get people that steal the whole file, they go to office, go say, hey, we can't investigate this case. Even when somebody can't investigate, it's not their job. Their job is not like they're not to say then go do the job of audit service. But when audit service drop them, when they drop the ball, then for carry the ball, then for carry them to letter. Take ministry. When they see say we serious, government serious, then serious, they're not they laugh, they're not they this, they're not they compromise. But man, that country it go pick ship. What makes salon this so because of law and order. Law and order no day. And the people voted for Marabio because they're facing an ex-serviceman. They go use that iron fist, they go use that iron hand for rectify things. It will not go frown or whatever for condone corruption where they happen or lawlessness where they happen. But it's happening. With all the accolades and the way Ben Kaifala they get. When you come, it's just like when you take the football, for example. Aisha Johnson, they have so many goals that way, they win than this, Nadandi. But when they come inland, now we take inland Sierra Leone. How is football? Is it progressive? Where are we? The layman go able for making your judgments because me no come and make judgments. This is what is happening in Sierra Leone. It's the same thing. They having all this winning this award and this and that. But the risk, the major risk in certain ministries, the money the way they go down the drain with where you know they see the value for their money, then they see, when you assess, you say this road costs this money, this when they do cost this $1,000, and you look the outcome, you look the productivity of some of them things, it don't match up. It don't match up at all. So I feel say the need for really go back to the drawing board and people that when they can't give the information, they can't publicly when they give information, but you use the information secretly underneath and then forget until you get all the facts them together because they're giving you a clue. Once you get all the facts them together, then you can come up. And rather than they do all their work, then the forensic auditors when they incorporate into them. But in a nutshell, I mean, we them need for try, bruh. Because look right now, Frito right now, half of the city right now, this next get blackouts. What did happen? That's corruption, bruh. It's all corruption. The thousands of dollars where they go inside energy. You take health, for example, you go to the hospital, the medicine no even in the hospital, you go for go to pharmacy. How authentic are some of those drugs? Look at the rate where people then they die in a salon. Young people dying. Then they spend the money, they cannot get the value for money because they even in medication where they can in the country, so substandard medications. You understand? If we say the anti-corruption then gets them book then the old bruh. You understand? People then go say, they're not go able to do everything. But if they start setting precedents in certain ministry, then go pick shape. They will pick shape, I'm telling you. Not to let something that happen today. You go talk to the president, or don't go beg the president. The president say, oh, okay, a law not fair to self, for the fair to self, opposition go use them against we as when you campaign self. No. Fight corruption, then you deliver the country because this has been a pandemic, a worse than COVID-19. Corruption has been a pandemic now in society. We make we growth cripple. We cannot move much because we make 5 steps forward and make 3 steps backward. We make 5 steps forward and make 2 steps backward. So we're just within the same cycle. I'm not taking down the Abraham. They need to do more because things have happened. Things can happen. This is not perception. This is reality. Corruption day. And the high-profile case, then they win. They want to get to major risk. Then another win. That small one go put teacher on the street. No, in terms of materiality, now less risk. Less risk. Check the bigger case where we know says the significant risk, very high.
All right, thank you very much, Tony.
You're welcome, Abraham.
Yeah. Yes, caller, you live on here. Your name and who side you call from, please?
I'm Francis at the call from Minnesota.
Yes, Francis from Minnesota. You get 3 minutes. Waiting on your contribution.
I want to tell you plenty thank you. I want to tell the speakers then really plenty thank you. All waiting and talk, then concerns then we then raise. Now legitimate concerns then. Interest, where they push Sierra Leone before. The other people that, back, home, who they talk about corruption, Sierra Leone, we just able talk, we able talk, we able explain, but for how long we don't dip at this talk? It not carry good no side from 1900 waiting. This talk here not carry good no side. So, past we do action. And the one way they do the thing right now, not to for just criticize how long has he been there and not did it for long. Not put politics aside. About 3 years. This last speaker, now my brother is sick, Sierra Leone corruption, reward and defeat an archaic method. Indeed, an archaic method. For me, they put all the structures then in place. It has to take time. And even the mindset of the average man on streets, they don't understand what's in corruption. And not to what's in the guy, not to in one game for first corruption. Now we all, the man within a village, the man now we all for come on board. Not so this guy one green who they blame, who they can, now so if we don't do, now so if we don't do. Yes, we sit down and we table there, we feel say it easy. It is not an easy job. How about the one day we don't did it before it come? How them we don't they do? Who say we left all the recommendations or the criticism there? Why would not criticize the people then? And I mean, listen to the other doctor, with all due respect, he talk well. But what they try for talk? Any indicator of success these days, now data. Now you the back you talk with. And the man they back in action with data. The one way they get the award, now the data, then they look. When they talk about MCA, they say Ben Kaifala for don't come show, waiting and not do the indicators. When you go to MCA waiting, before they give them waiting, then they give the indicators then. Who sides really win, who sides really not win. So not to the man again for kind of media for kind explain and when are the doctor, if I don't know say now so then the rates corruption fighting, then they give the indicators. So I don't know. All the concerns the way people then raise, now legitimate concerns. But all they give them in the form of recommendation and all praise who side the praise due. Just 3 years. Something we don't they part of winner salute. Then no go can succeed for white man today. Tomorrow all thing. No. What would they talk? Lord, we take time. Lord, we just say, give praise.
The 3 minutes are up, Francis. But before you go, I want to make you say something about the rest. So what's in you take on that rest?
That rest, again, I not support no minister for thief rest. But again, the question I want to ask, would I bring that rest issue up? At the end of the day, people don't come on board for give evidence. Because to me, your understanding, I might be wrong. Now then self when are the government people now then count this issue up. So at the end of the day, when now then count up, then solve them the way we then feel for solve them. But we will for don't come out with the evidence what we get. We put them out there for say this for stop. But I've not feel say that was the case. And secondly, what would they talk about parliament? Now parliament actually now they responsible for fight corruption. Now that country day. But they know they do one. And when we they talk about now the man for do this today, recommendation again. They say law no day for them money the way they use. And indeed, when law no dey, how you dey go carry person go na court? And the only way where they fight corruption, na court they carry go. For carry all them parliamentarians and then na court there, he go lost. How about talk to them, make them recommend ways for minimize them thing? And again, now with various constituencies, they will send the parliamentarians in our parliament. What will they do? We they ask them for we money there. Me personally, what I do, I go now we local media, like I ask we parliamentarians there. The reports don't come out. What you wanna do with them money there? Now that's me personally do. I not even talk about Ben Kefa. Individually, what would they do now with small community? Because if we hold them responsible, at the end of the day, we make the job easy for them and then but we're gonna just say criticize them and as no more go part throughout. But you count that evidence back. Like whether Monday, that full of man, this, that, I don't know, I know they follow up much with her. But that itself will make people they scared. I don't know really the story well. I don't want like, but I support that Monday. As long as they count something, me man they talk to, I know they support any corruption. But now we method. Like we don't they now oversee the method and then we don't depend for long. We not go just say no more. If you say we can't go right now, it will work. It don't go work. So the fighting of corruption and a process, the recommendation, the mitigation, then the plants na the system then be. And at the end of the day, all the concern the way people they don't raise, I want to respect them. Now legitimate concern there, but not a process. Because all the institutions they are corrupt from day one. So you when you gonna beat safe if you get that job that you really want to do well. Your question is that you get for the ask how I get for the do this thing, why go succeed. I want to tell you plenty thank you. May God bless you all.
All right, thank you very much, Francis.
Yeah.
Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and who call from, please.
Yeah, it's not Mike. I call from Philadelphia.
You get up to 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, I just want the people already defend corruption. When I stop, please when I stop, because the type of corruption Ben Francis Kaifala they fight now for impress the outside world. Okay, the data where they collect, all the information where they collect, and for the outside world, not for the people in the ground. Because when the outside world look at the data the way they collect, they see say they do good job. If you take 42 cases in a court, you win 40, then in their mind, and if you say they do good job, but how then they reflect to the people on the ground? Mean nothing to the people on the ground. When people look, it's very simple. When actually the administration actually get it right, when they take all the money and put it inside one account. But how the money they come out outside that one account to the open, they know. When they pay attention to that one account, they will say all the money come out. Now the big problem is the corruption they go on inside this administration. Ben Keifala not they catch nobody. And then when they defend, Ben Keifala they do mediocre job. They defend that. What did they defend that for? The guy is getting paid. They pay Ben Keifala a lot of money. Why Ben Keifala not they do an excellent job? No, this is not acceptable. It's unacceptable. Ben Keifala need for doing job. Who they here for go after? Let's go after her. What's minister where they thief for money? Who are the parliamentarian they thief for money? Let them go after them. The people and they suffer in the country. And when they protect somebody. Come on, this is unacceptable, man. Why not they tolerate that day? The problem with parliament, the reason why parliament not they do nothing. Because that the speaker would then at that parliament day, then they block all things. Then they block all things, and make parliament not able to do nothing. Ben Keifala, why not they accept this? So it is unacceptable. Do your job. So a lot of people they want you for let you do your job. Now the problem that the whole country they look at you for let you do your job, and they balance. They solve you under. But the main people they take your money, and they do nothing to them. The other thing about the airport, I somebody will talk say, the airport how people they pass with money. I think that's Tony. I meet them at the airport. They were one of my friend. He get diplomatic passport. They not even check him. He get diplomatic salon passport. They not they check another airport. How if you say the money and they come out of the country, Someone we need for wise up, man. We not they defend Ben Keifala. Let Ben Keifala doing job. Then they pay him. They doing job. That's what they want. Contribution on it.
All right, thank you very much, Mike.
All right.
Yes, caller, you there live on air. Your name and who side you call from, please?
Yes, Mina Ezekiel. I recall from St. Louis, Missouri.
You get 3 minutes, sir.
Triple A, me, I will say this again. You see, fighting corruption anywhere in the world, not to any sweet game at all. And we don't see this very clearly in a saloon. You know, me, when it comes to this Ben Kaifala in approach in the fight against corruption, and when I did listen, a lot of comments them, and they say saloon, no wonder way past governments them, not be ever they even mention or even touch anything about corruption. They just let can go for make everybody live by them. You go now begin see why. Because once you don't touch them, it's like now you now they turn into the enemy. Look, we self they talk and say corruption is so systemic, so widespread, it's everywhere in that country. And if we get to be very honest, Ben Kaifala is not the very first anti-corruption commissioner ever since they institute anti-corruption. But for the past the predecessors to now, if we get to really be sincere, when we don't ever see a robust measure against the fight, this is the time. Except you know one for be honest with Sierra Leone and what Sierra Leone stands for. And does that mean Ben Kaifala is really doing everything correct? No. And does it mean we should expect 100% success in everything? The answer is no. All waiting have been done, they say, is it requires our support. But it seems as if the way we talk, most Sierra Leoneans, it shows clearly that we still not even believe that corruption is something anybody can fight. That is what I am seeing. And trust me on this. There is no appreciable percentage other than zero when you talk about corruption. But is it okay for us to begin to appreciate those dropping figures in the percentage? Yes. It don't mean that we don't succeed, but we had a long way to go. This is just 3 years when we don't see robust measure. Trust me, like you just say, everybody else wants to see Ben Kaifala do something different. But trust me, is it going to happen? Is it really possible? It's like you watching a football game, and when the goal opportunity come, people they miss, and you say, "Oh, that guy is if I don't pass that ball." If now you did at that pitch, under that pressure, consider that. This is the kind of thing that we are talking about. I am not defending Ben Kaifala, but I am appreciating the little effort he's making because we don't ever see him. We don't live in a salon for the rest of the rules after the war. Pakaba and Esbaikroma, I know what I'm talking about. Probably these are the reasons why corruption. But perhaps when you see the pressure, it just let everything go by. But let somebody say, oh, they are paying Kaifala for all of these things. Yet they are paying anybody. Has he been the only person before? No. But he's doing his own utmost best. All we need is to support this fight. By the way, in fact, we said they intervene in them. If we don't really see and say it's something that we don't need in our country, our approach, our utterances should be different. Trust me on this. I am not saying Ben Kaifala has the best approach. No. But he's doing his own utmost best. And those things, those are the little steps that will get us to where we have to go. That is all I'm saying. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Yes, caller, you live on air. Your name and who side you call from, please?
I call from Greece, Minaïs.
Yes, you get 3 minutes, sir. What's in your contribution?
The contribution to us because I listened in the interview of Ben Kaifala. And some of the questions the mother is, now all man na saloon, just they always raise the assume say this person anti-corruption and fight corruption. Always. But the corruption starts from the constitution. Now enforce corrupt. Because all the people who write that constitution, I know with a limited idea and they use for write constitution, govern everything. They just go summarize something then counter, they say they make a law. Now so it be. The man they fight corruption. In one no go able fight corruption. Corruption are everybody, the Sierra Leonean, but this country it don't split into two half. One ender, one ender. We go so we knock your man, hey, this man is good. You don't knock the other man. When they knock the other man, they say, that man, they, now this, now so. The man, they try. In the way the man, they fight corruption as Salon, they try. He don't do it. He don't do tremendous well. Part of the accolades the way they get. And that man, the way going to ready say, I get evidence for this man, say, we they can indict this man. I get evidence. He just get for say get evidence. He get correct evidence. You know go say get in a car he say get false evidence. In a car he say no get false. He just get for say I get evidence. If I go to this case, I dey win. And a law. The case is bad. Now lawyer. You can kill person today. If you lawyer get power no more, get weight, you know the case. They accuse you now the court. They say, well, me man will not see case. If you lawyer, you will argue. If they win case, now so case day. So, but Sierra Leone and the meeting the Anti-Corruption Commission, they go say, well, you corrupt, can't pay, or they go to jail. No, the thing they go to court. When they go to court, that man they get people who they can argue for her. If you see say evidence, they man they all am, but if you evidence so they now so, and then thing then the way they have in Salon, now syndicate, like what they talk. That man they try. I think so. We Sierra Leone and them now we all for come to one and fight this fight. Look, give credit to side credit there because. I hear some man they say that man they say so person corrupt. He just a common man. I say this person native man. No, if we wait for us, when they investigate the person, if they find not guilty, he guilty. We know corruption they take place in Salon, but not everything have corruption. Now this system, now we all for talk about we see the system. The need for fix this system. Person by he get your own website, get everything where they go check button. Now simple thing for fight corruption. But if we they don't always the discredit system, this man no better. The man go call money, they say the man show the money, inside the money in the back. You know that, you know the president. Now so Salon don't tell like all the league now. That man don't turn what the man don't do, say the man for do so. No, that man na in the put, let him do your own thing. Who say wrong, who tell us say, hey, party this thing won't go. But so take us so low with people in come on board, they fight this corruption thing. He don't tell me they are that he had for done. Now we no more get for fed time. He done. So we say, say, hey, this man they do well. Tomorrow, well, Ben Kaifala, you can get people where they meet. That man, where they call figure there. One time where they call figure 5 billion, say Timber. I laugh. I say, we don't know it's now. You don't go call 5 billion. What do they talk so? You know what they talk? All the country not getting time on there. They say, we calculate all things for the whole year. You need get answer. You don't go say 5 billion. So you know, corruption business and Salon. Now we all fed. Low give credit to side credit. The who side credit no, the low will all come to one. Who that
thank
play
you
the say
very
it's
much.
the prosecutor. That would be nice, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes, caller, I live on air. Your name and who side call from, please.
Yeah, this is I had a call from US.
Yes, I have up to 3 minutes, sir.
Okay. Ben Kaifala say they deal with evidence based. This guy we call before Mike say not evidence based. Let them produce the evidence. Then he make mention of this fuller man where they in fact I know they pay attention to and better self. Why? Because you know pay attention to the guy because the guy they provide evidence. So you know they speak your language. Now let's go to Ben Kaifala, the interview. The very first question was Wise Bangoa asked the guy about that going back 14 years. The guy no answer the question. He come out, he go all the way to Benin, he come inside Togo, he go Ghana, he cross country to Nigeria, he go Cameroon, he take plane, he come back Salon. He no answer the question. It was like a Ben Kaifala show, you know. Samuel Wise Bangoa need to polish up his interviewing skills because I been watching for a long time. He allowed these people and when they come, then they talk over them, then they answer within they want answer. You know, if they stick to the point when they not answer, he go back. He said, "This is the question." Until then, say, let them call for a reprieve from the judge and say, "It is badger me," you know. Then for answer the question, but if they let them off the hook, then they talk within them feel like talking about. It was just like a Ben Kaifala show. That's my submission.
Thank you very much, Ayo.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and who side call from, please.
This is Stella at Blossom. They call from Freetown.
Yes, I give up to 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, waiting. I want for talk concerning Ben Kaifala, the young man. Me, I like him. One thing because na young man, and this na some of we na Afro optimist. We like for see na Africa young people let they hold positions like this. But waiting me, I dey find out from the young man. He get some big people in Vietnam where they try for uh, control am, uh, in the sense that they get the job, but they only allow for work. And he get this fear, say, if he church here, this go happen. If he church here, this go happen. I feel say independent. Totally independent of the job. He get some people in at the back door where can tell them what for do. Where you and I not go know, we not go understand because na back door, no camera, no nothing. And I did see say the all this brag where Ben Kaifala they brag now the social media where we don't become much active in exposing corruption, and also for expose waiting government they do. Before this time, Salon be blind. Most of we will not even know what they happen now the government. But today, social media, anything will happen, it don't blow up every side. So today, people they are aware, and where they go and make it, they go and make so. Even with it, they go and make so now because of social media. Even the international community, they able to recognize them. So make get for the come and try for big full salon people. Want for bring the truth. As he said, the young man they try for hide something to salon people. Now he make they able for answer question according to how you for answer them to the salon people. I listen to the program. Samuel Wise, now good journalist, yes. He they try for ask question where he be say salon people want for no, but the young man they escape am. Anytime where they come with something, they try to compare Salon and other countries. We not care about what they happen in Nigeria or Cameroon or anything. We care for what they happen in Salon. We want Salon let it be the country for Salon people, not a country for Cameroon. If Cameroon then corrupt past Salon, we not care. We want Salon for be the country where we want. So as he said, the young man gets something where he hide, and he gets some people in at the back door where they affect in work. Now this na my own contribution na the program.
Thank you very much, Wilson. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller, you live on air. Your name and inside the call from, please.
Okay. So now my name is Tilda. I call from Ottawa.
You get up to 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. So first off, the first thing I want to talk about the interviewer, the journalist, Samuel Wise Bangura. I think say it really, if this is the type of interview you want to focus on and build a career with, I don't know if this not just a short thing, because it gets the Sunday show, then it gets the show now and whatnot. It really need for brush up on the interview skills. So many times it make guests them override them. It make guests them control the show instead of in control the show or in control the interview. Now, when it comes to the anti-corruption commissioner, he's a young man. Yes, we are all young people trying to do our best, but then they not go excuse the fact that he is very egocentric. He gets a very big ego, Panam. And they come up with this notion that he knows it all, na he sabi all thing, na he know all thing, na he know how all things for go. Na life not to one person not know all thing. And for those saying that he's only been there for 3 years, him being there for 3 years is no excuse. You've been given a job. You are handsomely paid for your job. Do your job. I'm not there to compare you to who was there in the past. And here is one of the reasons why. One of the reasons why is that this present commissioner has been given a lot of leeways, a lot of powers with the other commissioners they're not being getting. That is not to excuse the lackluster job of the other commissioners, because I strongly feel say there are areas in which the mean for don't able get conviction, prosecute and convict, but they're not push hard enough. We had someone that was very robust, very thorough, Abdul Tijan Cole, one of the first few commissioners then. But again, clash of ideas, make we lost that person there. Now, giving examples from other countries, nobody care about what's in the happen in other countries. This is a Sierra Leone issue. This is for the Sierra Leoneans. So your work should be about Sierra Leoneans. If every time where somebody come and provide evidence about something, and you find out conclusion to that evidence is, well, not to say they not do what they're supposed to do, not the way we then do them. So now we can put structures in place. If every time structures is your default language when it comes to substantial things them, but when it comes to peckish things them, small thing them, you go hard on the people, you convict, you prosecute, and you get back. Somehow the priorities are a bit twisted. Yes, we want the structure for work, and I agree with the last caller. Yes, the very problem, the foundation of the problem is the Constitution. I strongly agree with that. However, with that said, that does not mean for say we cannot use the structures that are in place for make we forge ahead and get things done the right way. I don't care about his accolades. There are people who have more accolades than him, but they do their job. So if it a bench in success based on the accolades, right there, ego don't take over. Self-centeredness don't take over. Bravado don't take over. So for me, let him just do his job and let him stop this poor excuse of, all this, all that. The man always has an excuse for stuff. And honestly, it's becoming like, a Sunday church choir. People are tired of it. People are suffering in that country and they need answer. So, dear Abeg, in aid they shake right now. Make it left for making aid shake. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, Matilda. Yes, caller, ID live on air. Your name and the call from, please.
Mana Sisiari call from Abu Dhabi.
You're up to 3 minutes, man.
There is anyway, a very good program and interesting program. Anyway, so my take on this, concerning these corruption issues in the country. We all know the country will come out, and we all they live overseas. Most of we they live overseas will know how systems they work. Me I can always say people, even the one they on media right now, they discuss on this corruption issue. There are people who they discuss not to pertinent, pertinent to the national issue. Really, they try to talk on only which they talk on political interest, because anti-corruption, don't arrest somebody in a political party, or because anti-corruption don't arrest somebody within a political party. So now this is the discussion, but are we really discussing on the real issue? Because we all know, say, the problem with the country get, not only the problem, and people they try for fix them, and that can problem for fix them, not just immediate effect. We all know everybody in this country they don't engulf with corruption. Imagine, and even the radio discussion then wouldn't hold, and this parliament issue. We all know parliament, there is no law in the country. We no favor parliamentarians. Even this Honorable Katara Conte and the others, these are corrupt allegations. Honorable Katara Conte always say, he said the thing that a misled investigation they put anti-corruption commission up. Is it because the money where they give to them, it get budget code. And this budget code, nobody no get right for change am. They get that inside the constitution. You go be office or na development activity. You go put am parodo na development activity. So whose evidence will you get against the people that will, because they already know say the money it get budget code. And these people they make the law, and the law they make it favor them in anyhow. So the law says don't put the whole thing now country. Let us try to change the constitution. Otherwise, we will cry everybody down. We go on for even the anti-corruption management. They want to do the good thing. We will tell them say no, this is not a good thing to do. So far, favor we own party, we own political party who will they represent. We not go feel happy. That is real issue where they happen at the country right now, because nobody knows they accept so. Nobody knows they accept the money work. Just because they don't hold the present government as the way they want, or just because they don't hold the previous government as the way present government they want. So you see, this thing are political demons we deal with. Don't forget about this political. Don't talk as a nationalistic. When you talk about issue, don't talk about issue. Constitution got problem. The constitution it got problem. Then nobody blame anybody. And then that particular charges with anti-corruption they win against people, and now because they know say they get the right, and now because the people they know say they're convicted, that I made them they pay. If you know say we say you stand, you get reasons, and you got to bring that to court. So let us stop for the man they try. Now that make it say if I give risk management committee to the parliament for let them go work with them so that they go to prevent this type of events where they happen at the parliament. It's good. These are all ways and means to eradicate corruption. Maybe they go they do some reform until they will change this constitution. If they don't change this constitution at the way the citizens want, believe me, we go every day in the radio station we talk about corruption. Even with the citizens, we get problem. Me we start in a one great Emiratino they ever connive with foreigner for thief in country. Now Salome they see that they connive with foreigners and they go mind harm on a bush. We did for the country, therefore, in your personal use. You see, for in your personal use, this country, no citizen, not to connive with foreigner for defraud the country. So what would they talk about? We are corrupt. What would they talk about, Bembe? People that even the poor way in a village, you say corrupt. And they allow people to go, now we go the reason out. Now we go the discussion issues as they arise as a national issue, not to by political win. Don't go to look at that. The thing is really, really bad in the country. Now we talk on that. But let me say government no go do more. It will do more. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller, you live on air. Your name and who call from, please.
Yeah, my name is Adam. I call from Ohio.
Yes, Adam. I go up to 3 minutes.
Yes, I just want to say, like when the whole call they go, I say, look, them people are who they talk about. They all live asleep. Who they up here? Who they perfect for corruption? I just want to say thanks to all the callers and the genuine people who they see that peace and the right thing happen at Salon. And me pray that may God continue, may God himself touch them from the leaders, the all. Let God take all of them, because I say like sometimes we just like complain, but if God not work inside them people, I would just like they waste with time. Like make God himself see, like just like he tell Moses say, I don't see how the Egyptians they suffer me picking there na Egypt. So let God talk to them people and say, hey, me people are the suffer. Here big, they need rescue. Let God himself intervene into the life of them leader they have to. Now the only way we will get peace, and that peace they will not say they come by God in your power. So thank you very much, people, for this show. Thank everybody. God bless you all. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you very much, Adama. Yes, caller, they live on air. Your name and who call from, please.
Yeah, hi, Triple A. I'm named Abdullah from Melbourne, Australia.
Yes, Abdullah, you're up to 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, Triple A. I be just want to buttress within the various callers that don't say. And regarding the fighting corruption and regarding also about the Kaifala, the problem can we with the Sierra Leone and Nina misunderstanding, because we never understand something, we already misunderstand. Nina the problem we all they face today in Salon. And we don't take politics and tribalism and other reasons pass with Pekin, pass with Fisher, pass we say now they happen in Salon. For example, this man, he don't come in something where he get for face when nobody ever in a salon history where they don't born with, nobody ever face that type of fight na in the corruption. And it don't come, they don't get, it don't start fight. So what you go give Z to this man for like able fight na in a we get for forget about whether I belong to SAPP or I belong to APC, but if anything they will say now in the damage we begin the feature. So we get for help and for let fight the corruption. For example, if that man say today they go McKinney for go invite somebody there, all man go grab. They say no, na wrong thing, na hateness. Okay, so how this fight get for done? Even if I know for say this person he don't do wrong thing, but because I belong to that person, I'm close to that person, I belong to that party. So we not get for good information to the anti-corruption whatever. For me, they able to go into detail. I know the one of the things they will get for fight. What thing I get for tell we young people then? Let's put politics aside, let's put tribalism aside, but let's think about let's think about we beginning, let's think about we country for say, yes, if we will not fight corruption, our country not will ever go before. Corruption not to a day for fight, not to 1 day, not to 2 days, because even this other country, the European country, you go America, corruption, they most fight. And they more bring people there to justice when they're involved in that corruption case. For example, Donald Trump, one of in campaign manager, he was in prison. Only recently where he ready for Comona the power, then he get a pardon. And France, the former president, if we don't appear court, we don't see people that go gather for demonstrate because on the former president, because Oma no say what is good, what is bad. Oma no say what is the right thing you for do as a president, now you for do. So it doesn't matter whether in they support you, but they're not going to go to my bed that they fight. But in the problem today, what would they face na salon? Salon would they see something wrong, but because of we belong to that side, would they see acceptance for say it good. So my own point why they take for 30 people there. This man allow again pillar, and not only ordinary pillar winner, concrete pillar, reinforced concrete pillar, where you go able stand on, where you go fight against this corruption. So if that be, I think Salon go better. Not slowly, but overall it they do good. It they try, and in order for go above the law where it they within in your power now they do it. So you know me say they don't talk say me I don't corrupt. You get for can arrest me, go put me in prison, or they lay me that they beat me. You still get for follow the law. So now that they do. Thank you, Triple A.
I thank you very much, Abdullahi. Yes, caller, you live on here. Your name and inside the call from, please.
I don't call my call from the United States.
You have to 3 minutes, Koma.
Triple A. I really want with these aliens and those say corruption, it all up to 60 years with alone they can 60. For me, this young man go crap. Law still only imagine say, if we just eradicate our corruption like that, it's like we really could be unfair to Ben Kaifala. Yes, not true say, they pay well, and I talk say he want the job. But one thing let me say, make we really compare Ben Kaifala to the previous. And not say some people don't know like that. But sometimes, in life, comparison is necessary. It better we go right Paris. If you keep once again, no matter what, even this government make, you feel say maybe it kind of bias because it makes some people English, it makes some people poor, it makes some people fight, it makes some people go. No matter what, Ben Kaifala na human being. For me that country will be perfect. We get for start some side. But people just feel saying, Ben Kaifala for be that kind angel. When you come, it's like he please everybody. And apart from possibilities, for make you see Ben Kaifala affect a corruption that kind way, how should we give you a make it better? country, we all know, say, each and every politician will enter inside politics is corrupt. If at that kind way we want to make affect corruption, maybe the previous administration by now, everybody for only in jail. Everybody for only in jail. Most of them make a before on but is also here, arrest this, arrest that. Yeah. House alone before only. The man gets what in the look at. Of course, we should only make reference to this like the case of our chief minister. Able for say salute Jan Jalo. Now blue the two and what for me the jail and make it out evidence it just make clear. Then you have funny thing again, when you not go your way, when you talk and say no compare country to Salon. Salon for just be Salon. Hey, triple here. Me never make Salon business make a vacation for me for. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Goma.
Bye-bye.
Yes, caller, ID live on air. Your name and inside the call from, please. Good, you go up to 3 minutes, Sika.
Okay. Triple before I go into the discussion, I want to say one thing. And what I say is that you me don't see and understand how things go on in other countries. You see, Sierra Leonean, anybody where you see, they praise and worship, they praise and worship, they praise and worship. They don't damage you, though. They don't damage you, better. Anytime when you see people in team up against you, people they talk against you, some people they talk good about it, they do something good at that country. The problem in that country, this personal interest and this label, and they put it on this problem. People in there, in and out of that country, they fight against the system, or fight against corruption. Some people in that country, they only believe in say, me, now people like you now they old for life. Some people say the smart when you smart, then they make you excel. But for smart over people they don't benefit. What make you say people will not oversee for the past how many years they only run? Which one they run for go for politics for go to another country? Then Kaifala, they don't try now. Which is try now? Which are able to reach? They don't able to walk outside the compass of the law. They don't able. And somebody make a reference to the Constitution. You wrote Ben Kaifala say? Ben Kaifala say, he say, when did they give them parliamentary money for go develop the Constitution or for go do anything in the area? He say, nobody will question them, for them to come back and can give report to them how and when and how they spend money. So, you don't get no right for go hold them, go arrest them, say, because the Constitution not give a right for them to go do anything in the people. But to be frank with you, I must say Ben Kaifala are the best too. Get some side and the way he get lapses. But that young man don't try. They don't try that that country will fight against the corruption. For example, people, if you go to a salon, if you go to a court, you go to land, you meet some kind of land, you go meet some kind of cases of land, some kind of land cases, where you see the truth, but you know the way for example, because the kind hands and the kind big guns, the way they hand these up and the case and this, that will make you able, only you interfere for talk of anything. But to be frank with you, when Kaifala, I don't try small, don't try. I don't really try small. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Desika. Yeah. Yes, caller, ID live on here. Your name and inside the call from, please.
Well, good evening or good morning. Me believe say Francis Kaifala don't do well. I will get on that, but are they more of an chess business? Maybe in a young man, understand the game properly. I'm making him make all the chess business, but I don't blame him because at the end of the day, if they get the international awards, then they feel proud. But me also believe that the reason why the commissioner they talk so big Now because say SLPP get for win the 2023 election. Because if say SLPP need win that 2023 election, I believe they go humble himself more. So, but in the fight against corruption, and they know the totality yet, but if they do well, or then they do well. But let's see normal, let's see how they go after 2023. We'll know if not genuine fights or not just selective fighting. But I know I make people blame Simon Wise. Simon Wise they do thing for do. You understand? Just Simon Wise not to investigate, so Simon Wise just to ask question normal. Some of their interviewers, so we all know how they be. Then they ask certain question them and certain question and they tell them not ask them because they're not gonna answer. So because they're not going for good defend certain thing they wouldn't know, wouldn't know get interest over. So that make women make case by the Africanist Press and just to make hints normal. You need to really go into details because the cool all agree and say come and defend and deny say those documents are not authentic. Until instead those documents are not authentic, then I know say, he's actually trying to fight, but he's not fighting. But because he need to deny say they're not authentic. So we're trying to steal the count more, So I don't blame the young man. Now young man, he's full of ego, he's full of energy, and he still got a lot to learn. So all in that chest, I don't blame him. When they get all the international award, then they go feel that way. So not just to watch animal. But me no say 2023 SAP get for win back. Now making in that chest. On a good night. Tata.
Thank you very much, caller.
Yeah.
I just want to take my mind back when the question was asked, say, them people here, now you pardon them. The commissioner say, not to space are they live. Not to space. He say, but in pardon there, he tell them, say, look, una not do something where I go get for decide on una matter. And then they tell we. Una not do something we go make I get for decide on una matter. Because also I go team up on that matter day. As he tell we, go look like if I say, and the pathway the law go bet the party. He said the ACC team can change Sierra Leone immensely. He said, imagine with waiting then they do now with the under-resource we then get. He said, imagine if they get that kind of resources, that kind of empowerment the ACC team within now, way in the head, can change Sierra Leone immensely. When he talked that, I say, okay. He said now then they go and put preventive measures them. Because waiting do? The one that will be the day before, the previous ACC, well, we'll not see waiting and do. So then not be they put measures. So they were already now that they put measures. But I want to ask one question. Do you input in them measures here? They don't ever go to Sierra Leone police, Salon police. They don't ever go there for go put measures, preventive measures. For the one that they take bribe na streets, the checkpoint name, the police station, the Okada riders, the Keke riders, the drivers them. What thing anti-corruption don't do? Because now he left to waiting the perception survey say. Perception survey, point hand per parliament. Some of the parliamentarians then come, then serve, then point hand per themselves. Then now anti-corruption step in. So when are they going to step in inside Sierra Leone police? Or Sierra Leone police, we just don't take and say, then one day, they are just corrupt and good. Let's just left there. Because now the same thing Sierra Leone police they say. Sierra Leone police where you tell and say Sierra Leone police talk they say na just perception. If police ask you for gear and bribe, can't report her. Also then they say. So with all the preventive measures them wey anti-corruption they put in place. Yeah? They don't go parliament, they don't put. The one where them be pointed by the ministers them, they don't put preventive measures for them. Because we can't they say preventive measures then because measures they're not in place, measures they're not be there in place. But again, ignorance of the law is no excuse. But they say now, okay, the law they not be there safe. So I believe say who side everybody get in fish where you want make anti-corruption fry. That's now waiting the commissioner say. All man gets in fish. I don't know whose kind of fish you get to you let them fry you. But I believe say the fish where the Bobo Jama want, where the Kabudu want. The one where they make people and flip eye for anti-corruption. Anti-corruption for take into account of them fish then they. It's rather unfortunate. Anti-corruption say likewise where they know they take instructions from people in authority. Now so they know they take instructions from me and you. Okay? It don't explain to we today about whistleblowing and you raise alarm or accusation. It say if you want say na whistleblowing, you for sure carry the evidence because anti-corruption are evidence based. Now based on that, now I be asked the question about the Africanist Press. Even though the example we in use, now the one for the field for the chief minister. But what about the one we warrant the investigation into the office of the First Lady going back 14 years? What about that one day? You know? It's I mean I be don't talk and I before say talk and go, talk and come. Anti-corruption, they don't tell we say they don't collect 23 billion leons. And they don't collect. Today say 10 billion. I just hope say it is about that last check code and go give the president. Because in total na 23 billion. Not to 10 as compared to the 65 million where Ibine say inside 2013-2015. Anti-corruption alone don't collect 23 billion. And that 23 billion they supposed to go towards the diagnostic center na the country. We still wait. I don't know if na treasury bond them buy, so then they try to make the turnovers scam. I don't know with the money, or then just put the money no more, make AC they blow them. But I think say 23 billion, they need for begin for user now. A need for begin user. So that at least we can able for point finger say that's exactly the money we anti-corruption don't collect. But we dey wait. This ACC, una say una able for change Salone immensely. Me I don't pinpoint now say them perception survey, even though una say perception na anybody in authority una name move by that, but there Salone police una go give them preventive measures. So down the road, where they can for can arrest drivers, whether they can for can take bribe, whether they do operation and get this new operation where they do on right now. I don't know self what you want to do tomorrow. But how they go. The commissioner, the last one who me one left before I go, he say he feel fulfilled. I don't know if you hear on that side. He feel fulfilled and anyone for believe say the country self feel fulfilled. Mr. Commissioner, sir. I know now when you be the talk about all the accolades that we don't get, now you make mention say, for now you feel fulfilled in the fight against corruption in Sierra Leone. Because you say make you compare with now and before, it's different. And you're not school. But please, don't feel fulfilled, sir. Because you say, you believe say the country itself go feel like say you feel. No. I mean, a part of the country, they pay tax. I not feel fulfilled. I not feel fulfilled. And the big one today, where most of the people call for, na that rest. Because when I tell you, say, na retreat when I take, when they come back. And I go talk and back now. That rest day. The only time we go here and back, if he be say, the minister, Alpha Timbo, he look for that chair back. That chair. Say, wait 2023 election, they come. He look for that chair, they say, he won't come back. You know, say, na be contender. Let come back. The day, as they announce and so, you know, they come out na the platform fine. That rest they showcase back. It showcase back. Okay? Well, let's left that. I see Ibrahim in the comment section. They ask if Uste will get for car with the Africanist Press chain number. When you want for come, because we've sent our invites. So we still the wait, sir. I hope say that one they answer your question. And then Kote say, you know, feel fulfilled. Okay. Ibrahim Kote, Ibrahim Kuruma back say he agree. For me, I don't know for now. Because he say he feel fulfilled and the country back go feel fulfilled. But since I'm a taxpayer and myself not part of it, I think say my voice could be heard. But for now, I don't feel fulfilled. Not at all. We'll go there back tomorrow. Before I go, you know, it's I don't know. It's good for make we be patriotic, you know. When we discuss issues there like the wire and make politics not it. And I think that the same word we the commissioner use for say everybody gets your own fish as long as enough rider fish there for the person. Then them feel say you know do nothing. And I think say if instead they work out that perception there, even if there is a red flag being waved, even though there is a red flag being waved, you go ignore. You go just think say, oh, that red flag in the APC. Not going to say that flag stand for danger. Stand for danger. But because the way they look and now say anybody where they talk for pick things them out now out of politics or then get the agenda. You even go to the Honorable Tawa, I say Honorable Tawa, it gets in your fish left right. It gets in your own agenda. And I don't think say everybody with a raise question we for able for say then get their own agenda. It's saying that the People's Commission. And so the People's Commission for able get beaucoup years for listening to the people's voice. Not so? Alright. No wala. How they go no more. I tell you they actually stand and they start the foundation for the airport. They are on our way across the airport. They don't put any kind barricade for show say something don't begin there. Anna Saloon. No safe. But anyway, everybody get rights to your opinion. Your opinion, as long as it come from your heart, it's fine. I make within a Alright. Go there back tomorrow. Till we meet again. Triple A. Ta-ta.